Welcome back. The green jacket. Someone's going to be wearing it by the end of the day. Yeah, he's on it. World #1 ranked Scotty Scheffler enters the final round of the Masters at 7 under, good for a one-shot lead over Colin Morikawa. A handful of other golfers are within striking distance heading into the last round of play. The final pairings start teeing off at 2 p.m. this afternoon. Of course, you can watch that on TSN. You can watch this guy on TSN as well for his continued Masters coverage. Adam Scully, co-host and producer of Golf Talk Canada. Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday morning. I know you've been up. I know you've been eating pimento cheese sandwiches. You know, I don't know if the beer's been opened up already, but I'm sure you're fired up for this. It's going to be an epic final day at Augusta National.
It certainly is, Phil. And first of all, great to see you, my friend. It's been quite some time. I'm looking forward to today. Today is the best day of the year. It is Masters Sunday, and the leaderboard, well, it's looking pretty good right now. Scotty Scheffler, a one-shot lead. You mentioned the guys up there: Colin Morikawa, Max Homa, Bryson DeChambeau, Ludwig Åberg. The leaderboard is certainly stacked, to say the least. And on that topic about the pimento cheese sandwich, I had one earlier this week at Augusta National. I have to tell you, it was actually shockingly pretty good.
I love pimento cheese just on its own with crackers is the absolute best, and I can only imagine that would just a good old, I don't know if they have Wonder Bread or just white bread. I can't believe how good it could be. It must be so good. All right, but what does Scotty Scheffler have to do to try to make, I know it's just a one-shot lead, but what's he have to do to try to get a stranglehold of this and get himself a green jacket again?
Yeah, absolutely. So his putter has been very streaky. We'll put it that way. He had a couple of really short misses during the third round on the 10th hole, on the 11th hole, where that blade of his putter, that mallet putter he's now using, was opening up and missing some short putts. But what did he do down the stretch? He made those putts. So for Scotty Scheffler, if he can avoid missing putts from so close, because, you know, he's had strokes gained putting has been up and down like a yo-yo throughout this season. So if he can really stay out of his own way, that'll be pretty critical for him. Here's a guy who hasn't shot over par in an event since August. So it's been that long. So essentially, if someone else is going to win this tournament, someone else is going to have to come and catch from behind.
Yeah, and who is, obviously we mentioned Morikawa and Homa and the group. Is there someone in that behind him that you think could maybe surge up the leaderboard?
100%. So Ludwig Åberg is a guy who's playing in his first ever major championship, his first ever Masters. Here's a guy who 1 year ago wasn't even playing professional golf, and now he has a legitimate chance to win the Masters. No first-timer has won at Augusta National since Fuzzy Zoeller back in 1979. But looking a little further down the line, Xander Schauffele is someone who is lurking in a big way. He has 5 shots off the lead right now, went bogey-free on Saturday. Here's a guy who came T2 when Tiger won back in 2019, T3 2 years later. He's been very consistent so far, 6 top 10s in 8 starts prior to this week. So I think Xander Schauffele could be primed to make a move today.
All right. So, okay, let's talk about Tiger. I don't think he's going to be making a move. I don't know if he can physically move right now, Scully. His ankle looks to be bothering him. What happened to him yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, here's a guy, 48 years old. We know how many, we don't know how many surgeries he's had. He's had countless surgeries. But when you look at him, he's worn down, obviously. You know, earlier in the week, I saw him with my own eyes. You could tell how he's had to rebuild his body again because he is having a hard time pushing off that right side. And, you know, here's a guy who makes the cut, 73-72 to make the cut for the 24th straight year. And I just sort of think he ran out of gas Saturday during the third round, where you could tell that right side, his ankle was really bothering him. He seemed a little tight at times, and he just seemed competitive rusty, where he was making some really sloppy mistakes. Now, Tiger has just teed off his final round, and he had a special guest with him on the driving range this morning. His son, Charlie, who was out there with Tiger this morning. And Charlie, I mean, we've seen Charlie grow in front of us. 4 years ago, he looked like someone who was very, very, very young. And now Charlie is hitting it by Tiger Woods in practice, apparently. And Charlie was actually helping Dad on the tee, a practice tee this morning. So a pretty cool moment on social media.
Wild. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's just crazy how he's grown. His mitts are massive. That's the one thing I noticed. His hands are absolutely huge, and he swings just like his dad. But yeah, I'm sure Tiger could just be kind of that mentor today, rocking his new brand, Sunday Red. Now, speaking of clothes, there's been one guy out there, a couple guys making some questionable fashion statements. I know baggy clothes are in these days, but you could talk about Sergio Garcia day one. I think you were there for that. Dressing in very bright colors, which is fine. But let's talk about Jason Day and what he's rocking right now. Very 90s.
Yeah. And so those who know me from Golf Talk Canada know that I don't like wearing baggy clothing. I think that's just sort of what I do. Now, Sergio here in the first round, I don't know, Phil, he kind of looks like Elf a little bit with the yellow pants.
Yeah, he
like
kind of
Elf.
looks like Elf, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe even like a Sprite bottle, that sort of thing. But for Jason Day, I'm not sure this whole baggy thing, it's coming back in. The brand Malbon is what he is a new brand ambassador for. They kind of look like snow pants to me anyway, so it's kind of a strange look. But anyway, on Friday during the second round, he was wearing a vest that had something along the lines of Malbon Club Championship, and people from Augusta National actually asked him to take the vest off. So there was just a lot going on. It was very busy, and that's an understatement. So for Jason Day, I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but my big question is when he was looking at two outfits in the morning, I'm curious which outfit lost to that one. That's really my big question.
I want to see that. I want to see it. Yeah, kind of remind me of Zubaz pants, just like pajamas were all about, lifestyle, being comfortable. Scully, that's what it's all about. You mentioned you're at Augusta. I know that's a massive career moment for you. You and I, take you behind the scenes. We're both interns here at 299, Junior Hockey Magazine, with Gino Retta and everybody, and Adam in the basement making all these jokes. I'm so happy to see you doing what you're doing at TSN Golf Talk Canada and Sports Center doing this. And you're at Augusta National, man. So shout out to you. And, hey, we're now kind of working together. It's great.
We are. And it's funny, Phil, like we graduated 12 years ago. 12 years. And does that mean we're old?
We're old. I'm almost 40. You're like early 30s, so you're still a young cat. You still look good. You've aged very well. I'm so happy for you, pal, and hope to see you very soon.
Yes, thank you, Phil. Good to talk to you.
Yes, sir.